more than 30 years after his death, Orson Welles is still in the midst of controversy. Thanks to Netflix, Welles' groundbreaking 1941 masterpiece, Citizen Kane, transformed cinema, while also enraging William Randolph Hearst, among others. Now, a film he spent 6 years making in the 1970s is caught up in a present-day showdown over how movies are financed, produced and distributed to audiences. The film, The Other Side of the Wind, was finally finished thanks to the advent of Netflix and its streaming services. Netflix financed its post-production and planned to give it a big debut at the Cannes Film Festival in May, ahead of releasing it for streaming in the fall. The film stars another great auteur, John Huston, playing, yes, a legendary director like himself or Welles, who returns to Hollywood after years in Europe, with what he hopes will be his comeback film. But the chance for another Welles film to premiere at Cannes, even posthumously, won't happen. That's because the film festival initiated new rules that bar Netflix's movies from playing in competition if they don't also secure a theatrical release in France. Netflix could debut The Other Side of the Wind and its other films out of competition, but Chief Content Officer Ted Sarandos said that wouldn't make sense for the Los Gatos-based streaming service, so the company decided to pull out of the festival altogether. In an interview with Variety, Sarandos defended the decision, saying the rules were specifically made with Netflix in mind. "We want our films to be on fair ground with every other filmmaker." Sarandos added, "There's a risk in us going in this way and having our films and filmmakers treated disrespectfully at the festival. They've set the tone. I don't think it would be good for us to be there." In addition to Welles' film, Netflix withdrew works from other A-list directors, including Roma, from Alfonso Cuarón, and Norway, from Paul Greengrass. With Welles no longer around to fight yet another of his battles with studio bosses and other industry hunchos, like film festival directors, his daughter Beatrice Welles took up the fight on his behalf. Vanity Fair reported, "I have to speak out for my father." Beatrice Welles wrote in an email she sent to Sarandos and which was shared with Vanity Fair, "I saw how the big production companies destroyed his life," added Beatrice Welles, who is the daughter of Welles and his third wife, Italian Countess Paola Mori. "I would so hate to see Netflix be yet another one of these companies." Advertisement in her email, Beatrice also listed the ways in which Kane had supported her father's career. That includes honoring him for his acclaimed film adaptation of Othello, in the 1950s and naming him Best Actor in 1959 for his performance in Compulsion. "Please reconsider and let my father's work be the movie that bridges the gap between Netflix and Cannes," Beatrice said. Cannes artistic director Thierry Frémaux said on Thursday that he was disappointed that Welles' film won't be seen at Cannes. Deadline noted that the rules around films at Cannes needing a theatrical release remain controversial in the French film industry. "It's too bad. Welles was president of the jury and of course had the Palme d'Or," Frémaux said at a press conference, according to Deadline. "His place was here. I saw the film. We all had a desire to see this film." One of the film's producers, Philip Jan Rimsha, said he was heartbroken about Netflix's decision. But he also said he was conflicted because there would be no new Welles film to release without Netflix. "What's sad and most difficult to come to terms with is that everyone loses in this decision: Cannes, Netflix, film lovers, and all of us who worked so hard on this historic endeavor," Rimsha wrote in a statement on the crowdfunding page for the movie. "No other festival premiere will rival what Cannes intended for the films," he continued. "Granted, I'm conflicted in my emotions. There would be no The Other Side of the Wind without Netflix, but that doesn't lessen my disappointment and heartbreak."